Okay, so hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a reflection towards the subject PEC 201, Oral Communication Skill. Okay, so for the first question, what were the three main things that I learned from this subject? So for the three main things is that I got to improve my communication when I talk to someone or present in front of the people. Second, I got to pronounce my pronunciation communicate in a very well, which is like during like a presentation or when I speak to someone or give a opinion towards the others, I can speak and pronounce very well. And the last thing is that I get to learn about how you need to have a self-confidence when you talk in front of too many people or audience itself. So that is the three main things that I learned from this subject. Okay, so for the second question is what was new or surprising to me for this subject is that like I got to learn about what is the real things about the oral communication itself, whether like when, for example, when they have conduct a weekly activity. So they surprise me with the activity like such as public speaking, debate, and like you need to speak up because as you know, like this is an oral communication where you need to speak all the time. So that's made me something new that I learned because for me myself, I might scared to speak in front of people, but with this, it gave me to learn new something about these subjects. Okay, so for the third question, what have I changed my mind about as a result of this session is that maybe like for in future where you have finished your study and you got to continue your work. So the first key important is you need to have a good communication. For example, when you talk to your client or your employee, you need to have a good communication so that people will like trust in you and you know that oh you can speak very well because you know in future nowadays like communication is number one. All right. So for the question number 4, based on this session, what are the areas which I need to develop further? Okay, for this part, I need to, what I should develop furthermore, which is on my communication skills in terms of pronunciation. Because sometimes when I speak, some of the words like I can speak pronounce it well, but sometimes it makes me like feel I felt difficult to speak because my of the spelling itself or the meaning of word itself. So it is hard for me to speak up for example like the word is hard to say, but I will learn and so on. Okay. So continue for the next question. I am still unsure about some issues. So what are they? Okay, for this, okay, for the issues that I'm very unsure are maybe in the class in terms of the conduct for weekly activity, I guess. Weekly activity, which like some of the activity that I can adapt with, but some of it I can't adapt because might be of the way like they present or they deliver what are the activities all about. So maybe like maybe they can put in details more so that you can convey to someone that can understand what you gotta to be delivered for your presentations. So you need to have a clearly instruction of it. Okay, so moving on to the next question. What is the one thing which I most like about this subject? Okay, one thing that I really love this subject is uh, the students in the class itself when they present their creativity. I love their presentation, and some of the students I really love their communicate, which like they are speaking very fluent. When they speak, they have a good English, good pronunciation, and so on. So that make more interested for this subject. So the next question is, what is the one thing that I most dislike about this subject? Okay, the one thing that I dislike is like where we need to talk in front of the people and lecture because sometimes I felt like uh, it is hard for me to speak in front of people because I'm like scared because if I say something like, for example, if I say something wrong or right, it makes me feel like, oh, everyone will be judging on me because of my communication skills or my pronunciations. So moving on to the 8 questions. Number 8, what are some of the miscellaneous interesting facts that I learned in this session? Okay, for this, in terms of the interesting fact is that when you talk to someone, for example, because this is oral communication skills, right? So it makes me feel like, oh, you need to talk all the time. You can't like be non-verbal. You have to be verbal in terms of like talk to each other, communicate with your body gestures too, and your language. Okay, so moving on to the second last question. What are the 3 issues that interested me a lot and that I would like to ask my lecturer for a more detailed explanation? So the 3 issues that are really interested is the first one. I would like to ask like how our communication works in future, like maybe in your working area or your study areas, so on. Second, how does it work when you do a presentation and you need to use the oral communication skills that you have to speak and pronounce it very well. And the last one is that how you going to manage it. For example, like if you have a miscommunication or lack of the communication skill itself, how you need to prevent it or like to work on it for that issues to it. Okay. And the last one, I am still afraid of some issues. What are they? Okay, for me, we want to speak in front of people. I really have the stage fright. For example, when you want to talk to in front of 1,000 or 100 or 1,000 people, I might like lose my confidence to talk in front of it because, like I said, it's not maybe my pronunciation and communication skills that I might scared that people will be judging on me. But at the end of the day, we all are human beings, so that maybe I can learn it with my friends or my lecturer to ask how to speak very well or see on the internet as a reference so that I can speak very well and pronounce it towards very well. So that's all from me for my reflection. Thank you so much for listening.